Hello. How's everyone doing today? Asking random people if they have any milk in their fridge. Okay. No, I don't drink milk, so I ain't got no milk in my fridge. This is actually my first time on YouTube Live, so I'm actually really excited to share what I know about art and share my process. Whatever I'm drawing, whether it's portraits or anything. So if you don't know what this is, what I'm doing, this is a portrait drawing with a ballpoint pen. And the technique I love to use is hatching. I sometimes use cross hatching. And basically all I'm doing is just layering these lines on top of one another to build dimension and to darken the values. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I still have a long way to go with this portrait. This is not even halfway done, although it might look like it. I have so much to do with this. So if you're an artist, if you just love watching people draw, this is definitely the right place for you. And I'm just excited to, you know, keep going live. Like I said before, it's my first time on YouTube Live. So we should see how it goes. Do you go to any of the Blackboard art shows? Yes, I do. I've been to the Blackboard art show the last 2 years in Atlanta. This year, I don't think I'll be attending the Blackboard art show, which, you know, I'm upset about, but it's okay because I'm still trying to find um, exactly what I want to do when it comes to art and what I want to create. So I might skip out this year on the Blackboard art show. With my portraits, I do not work on the eyes until I'm closer to being done with it because the eyes are the gateway to the soul. So once you put in the eyes, that determines if you kind of nailed the portrait or not. So I like to wait to put in the eyes. That's just how my brain operates. I have no idea why I like to do that, but that's what I do. Hey, welcome, welcome. All right, let's see. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you. I appreciate that. How do I hatch so softly? So when I do hatch, I apply very little pressure to the paper. So I barely rest the pen on the paper like this, and I flicker the pen up. I can show you right here. So I rest my pen on the paper, and I draw a very light line like that. Do not apply pressure to the paper. And then once you come to the end of the line, flick your pen up. It's like just flickering like that. And the more you do this, the easier it gets drawing, super lightly like this. So that's pretty much how I draw very light. That's a great question. Yes, I do know how to draw like hyper realistic with pencil. Um, I prefer drawing with pen, but I do like drawing with pencil as well. Pencil is much faster than drawing with pen though. Have a wonderful day. Best wishes. God bless you. Oh, well, that's a really nice message, Joshua. Thank you. You have a great day as well. It's like cool to draw with pencil. Yeah, yeah. So drawing with pencil is great to do. It's really fun to do. I love drawing with pencil. I just prefer pen. With pencil, you can actually like erase if you make a mistake. With pen, you can't really erase too much. You said your problem with pen drawing is the highlighted part. Oh, I understand that. Trust me. So when it comes to highlights, what I like to do, I don't like to leave highlights completely white. I lightly hatch on top of it, like you see me do up here. So I lightly do like just one pass on top of it, and then I flicker into the highlight area. It's a really challenging process, or it's challenging to like first try, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Yeah, highlights can be annoying, especially with drawing with a pen. Because with pencil, you can just erase, but with pen, you can't. You have to figure out if you want to use like a white gel pen to create the highlight, or you just want to transition it into the highlight, or just leave the highlight completely white. And it is complicated, trust me. But over time, the more you practice like flickering into the highlight area, the easier it will become. No problem. Yes, I am using light pressure. So when I draw with a ballpoint pen, I use very light pressure. And that's why when I do shade and create these lines on these like darker values, like right here, you're not going to see a big difference at first, but the more I do it, the darker the value will become. So like even right here on the sheet of paper, this is how light I hatch. And that's what I'm doing on this paper right here. You say you like the Kai drawing? Thank you. At first when I started that Kai Cenat drawing, I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but the more I did it, the more I worked on it, the better it became, and it looks amazing. So I agree with you, and Kai Cenat thinks so too. So he really liked the drawing. Does it work on smooth paper though? Yes, it can work on smooth paper. I like to use mixed media paper, which is like regular sketchbook paper. So if you have that, draw, on that. When it comes to like printing paper like this, it's not the best. Like as you can see, I did the sketch with my hand. You can see every single line on this drawing right here. So if you can use watercolor paper, if not, use mixed media paper. And if you can't do that, then just use what you have. The best thing you can do is use what you have. The patience, yeah, it does require patience. But trust me, like when I first started drawing pen, I had no patience at all. Like I would sit here for like 30 minutes drawing with pen, and I would get so frustrated, I would just like stop, and then not work on it until like the next week. But I started to distract myself, and meaning like I would get my iPad, get my phone, put on YouTube, put on some music or whatever, and it would like distract me, so I don't like put all my focus onto the drawing. So it really helped with like building that patience over time. Why do I scratch on the other sheet of paper? That's a good question. So since I'm working with a very cheap pen, every now and then I like to create these little marks because if you know anything about cheap ballpoint pens, they can spill and they can actually mess up my drawing because like the ink buildup over time on the tip of the pen can just build up, and when I hatch, it can leave like a big ink blot. So what I do is I just every now and then I like to scratch on a different sheet of paper. I appreciate that, Artful. How do you make sure the drawing stays protected on deliveries and interested buyers? Do you protect your paintings with any protective layers on top of it? That's a really, really good question. Thank you for asking that. So yes, so with the way I package, well, first I'm gonna talk about protection. So I spray fixative on my pen drawings. Although I believe pen drawings really don't need fixative, I still do it just in case, just to have for that extra protection. And then I ship it in an acid-free sleeve. So it's a plastic sleeve, and then I get like these boards that are really thick, and I put the drawing in the middle of these two boards, and I tape the outside, make sure everything is protected, and that's how I ship it. So I ship it flat. I never roll up my drawings because if it's an original drawing, I don't want to like roll up the paper. I just don't like that. I ship it flat, how it's supposed to be, and yeah, that's how I ship my drawings. That's a great question. No, I'm not rushing. Isn't it really necessary to hold the pen that way? No, you can hold the pen however you feel comfortable. For me, I just always held my pen like this, so this is how I always drew my whole entire life. But you can hold it like this, you can hold it like this, whatever you feel comfortable holding it like. Are you from India? You draw on whiteboard. Okay, that's awesome. So do you draw with a pen as well, or do you draw with other tools? What if you don't know that the ink is coming out, down? Okay, what if you don't know the ink is coming down? So if you don't know if the ink is flowing, just scribble on a sheet of paper and see if the ink is coming out. I really never had that problem where I would draw with a pen and then like the ink wasn't coming out. So just make sure you have that extra sheet of paper. Oh, with markers. Oh, that's awesome. I want to see your work. That's really cool. So I'm from Ethiopia. I love your drawing. Thank you. Wow, I love Ethiopia. I never been, but I really want to go, and I can't wait to go. So much history in Ethiopia. Oh, whiteboard markers. Got you. Oh, that's unique. That's awesome. Very meticulous, honestly. I'm glad you take many measures to protect your drawings. Really beautiful drawing, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. That looks tough. Yeah, I am getting paid enough. It also depends on what you think is enough. But the more I do this, the easier it becomes. So I've been doing this for a very long time, and it's fun. Like I move, so fast. So people love it, and that's what matters. Oh, so you're from Ethiopia too? Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. I have much love for Ethiopia. I do digital art as well. I mainly do traditional. I prefer traditional, but I do know how to do digital art. Okay, there we go. Your artwork is so inspirational. Thank you all for tips and advice on your channel. Keep it great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna still give advice on my YouTube channel. The videos I've been creating are a lot of like how to and stuff, which I love doing. I'm still do it, but I want to find that thing where sets me apart from everyone else. So I'm experimenting with different things, and trying what I really want to, how I want to educate through my content, you know? Like just talking head videos is cool and all, but it's just it gets boring to me. I want to do something different, you know? Something more of like a day in the life, but like teach you guys how to draw and with the tips, you know, I share with all of you. I want you to give me a comment on my board. Ballpoint pen drawings? Yes. So send your drawing to my email, mra@machiavelliart.com, and I'd love to see your artwork. Whose inspiration do you usually hatch in the same direction during the whole piece? That's a great question. Yes, I do. When I first started drawing pen, I cross hatch. So I didn't hatch in the same direction when I first started. And it's possible to get the same effect if you do cross hatch. But the more I drew with pen, the more I realized I think I just love the look of hatching in one direction the best. You don't have to do this, just use which technique works best for you. But I just like how this looks. And that way I don't have to turn the paper so much. So yeah. I do have a small art studio. Um, it's just a room, a little art studio. But with what I do, I don't need a big art studio because although I do oil paint, I don't oil paint to this extent. I just mainly draw. So all I need is my table and a pen and paper, and that's it. So that's a good thing about doing what I do instead of being like a painter where I need like a whole studio and ventilation. So this is just perfect. Yeah, like you exactly. I don't know how to send emails. What about sending? Yes, you can send it to my Instagram. Okay, so I'm mainly working on this side of the portrait, just because I don't want to have to block the whole entire portrait, and I just need to work on this side. I'm still not done with this side. I still have a lot to do, and I do have to add in contrast. And in order to add in contrast or more contrast, you can darken some of the values. For example, like under this lip right here, if I create this line under the upper lip, it's gonna give more of that three-dimensional form. Right now, it looks a little flat, so let's create this dark line. Now, I'm not gonna make it super dark, just really subtle. So that's like adding more contrast right here because I darkened this line under the upper lip. Can you tell us the process step by step on how to start the drawing, finish it? Okay, I'm gonna do a quick step by step process because I have it just goes on and on and on. Basically, I outline everything in pencil first. So I have this mechanical pencil. It doesn't matter which one you use, and I outline everything in pencil. That's what all this other stuff is. And then I use my kneaded eraser, which is this. And a kneaded eraser is an eraser that never wears away. So if you don't have one, get yourself a kneaded eraser. It's like putty or Play-Doh, and you can just erase, you know, anything or any pencil marks with this eraser. So I erase the pen very lightly, and then I take my pen, and then I create all the shadows and the highlights and everything else. Subtle details make a big difference. Exactly. 100%. A huge difference. Uh, show Joe Rogan, please, the way one of me. Um, you say you use the white gel pen? One of my favorite things to draw, which I didn't know at first, are teeth because I don't know what it is about teeth, but I just like drawing teeth for some reason. It's fun trying to get like the shape of each tooth and creating contrast and just making it look three-dimensional. If that makes sense. You hate drawing teeth? I love drawing teeth. Wow. Or do you like drawing eyes? Because I love drawing eyes. I love drawing eyebrows. What I don't really like drawing too much, I will say, are hands, and I do have to draw a hand in this portrait, which I'm not looking forward to at all. And I have a love-hate relationship with drawing hair. Like it depends on the hair, yeah, the hairstyle, because it can get annoying for sure. Especially when it comes to horror, you get very creative with teeth. Oh yeah, for sure. Like if you're drawing like Venom or a character with crazy teeth, it gets real interesting. You say you like drawing noses and lips. You know what? I don't mind drawing lips, but lips are can be real complicated, and that's a good thing that you like drawing lips because that's very challenging to do. And the fact that you can do it is impressive. I do like drawing noses though. I will say that. Oh, like realism? Yeah. You say you dread drawing hair. I'm too impatient. I understand that 100%. Hair takes so much time. It's crazy. Luckily for this portrait, the hair, it's there's not too many curls in the hair. It's like somewhat straight, so it's gonna be easier for me to draw. Versus if someone had like a bunch of curly hair, or even if someone had a bunch of just straight hair, like Dolly Parton, that took me forever. Like I can't do that. You sound like my drawing when people like it. Too easy to over render lips for sure. Yes, 100%. As you can see, I had to stop drawing the bottom lip because I felt like I was over rendering it just a little bit. So I just had to take a break and take my time with it. Yeah, I over render many things sometimes, and I just have to. That's why I like to jump from one area to the next because if I sit on one area for too long, I'm gonna mess it up. What kind of pen do I use right now? I'm using round stick, big round stick. Why do you draw? I know as a beginner artist, the money was inspiration, I suppose. So for me, I started drawing when I was a toddler, and I just fell in love with it. Once I became a teenager, once I got into the teenage years, I was just interested in creating new things, like starting to draw portraits and learn more about anatomy. Um, I really never done it for the money. I just did it because I love doing it. But the money did come eventually, and I can't say I hated it. It's just that I just love what I do. I love drawing portraits, and that's what just keeps me going. Just getting better every day. Because once I see progress or I make the next portrait look better than the last one, then that keeps me going. You know, that wants me to just keep drawing. Because my thing is, I just want to get better and better and better. It's kind of like a competition with myself, and that's what keeps me, drawing. If that makes sense. Do I have a white gel pen? I do have white gel pen, but I do not use it for my pen drawings. So I get the question a lot, especially when I do the eyes, when I have the highlight area. Am I using a white gel pen? And the answer is no. I only use negative space for the highlights. Oh, love from Pakistan. Wow. Much love, much love. Welcome. He said, yeah, you are so passionate about something, money comes. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, if you're passionate about something and you just truly love doing it and you just want to get better at whatever you're doing because you love it so much, the money will find you. Trust me. I mean, I've seen people online who sell courses on how to breathe properly and they're making like 6+ figures a year just based on how to breathe or teaching you how to breathe properly. It's crazy. So no matter what you love to do and you can teach it or you just can sell it, people are definitely going to gravitate towards it because they're going to see the passion just from how you talk or they can just see it in your eyes, whatever it is. So just keep doing what you love to do and eventually the money will find you. Where am I from? So I was born in New Orleans. I'm from Atlanta. So I grew up in Atlanta. That's my hometown, I would say. So yeah, Georgia. If anyone doesn't know what that is in the U.S., is Georgia is the state and Atlanta is the city. One day, I'm trying like you. Yeah, no, you'll be better than me one day. I was in. It was my sophomore year, 2016, in high school, and I used to look at these amazing pen artists, and I was like, dang, I just want to be like them. I want to be on their level. And then I just took those 4 years to just hone in on my skills, learn as much as I can. And I woke up one day, drew a portrait, and I was like, wow, this looks better than their work. So you never know what you can accomplish. Just make sure you're drawing with attention and you're growing with attention. So yeah, you'll be better than me one day. Yes, how to breathe. People sell courses on how to breathe. You can look it up right now on the internet. And there's just one person who makes so much money just on that course on how to breathe. It's crazy. You say you don't like when people say draw me. uh, every artist in this chat knows exactly what that feeling is like. You're in class, you're in a public space, wherever, and you start drawing. And then people are like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Can you draw me? Can you draw me? You get it all the time. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, for money, yes. For free, no. Exactly. But I will give you guys advice if you're an artist. This is gonna be really good advice. So when you're starting off and you're just starting to put yourself out there on social media, try to message as many influencers, celebrities, whatever it is you can, and offer to do their portrait for free. And in exchange, they can post it or whatever it is. Some things you might have to do for free in order to get to where you want to get to. But hey, it's not for everyone. I understand if you don't want to do anything for free, which I get 100%. Just don't miss up, don't pass on opportunities because you're not getting paid for it. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'll tell you about the paper. So this paper I'm using is called Arches. It's cold pressed watercolor paper. So that's my favorite type of paper to draw on when I'm drawing with pen. If you have access to it, please get it. See how you like it. You can also draw on mixed media paper, which is also known as like regular sketchbook paper. So that can work as well. Let me tell you something every artist likes to draw. Yeah, a lot of artists do like to draw an eye, if that's what you're saying. You know, surprisingly, I do not have bookshelves full of sketchbooks. I do have a lot of sketchbooks, but it's not filled up. Me, I don't know what it is. You would think I would have filled up pages or filled up sketchbooks. No, I do not. I do not at all. I love watercolor paper too, really solid. Oh yeah, 100%. It's like the best kind of paper out there. Very durable, and depending on the weight you get of watercolor paper, it's hard to break. So when you do ship a drawing, it's not gonna warp or it's not gonna bend or any kind of way. And another hack, if you do like using watercolor paper, um, depending on the brand, watercolor paper sketchbooks can be more than the actual sheet itself. So if you can find a large watercolor paper sheet and then break it up into different pieces, that might be a better option for you versus just getting a sketchbook full of watercolor paper. And that depends on the brand. Because I know for Arches, the one I use, the sketchbook or watercolor paper is like $50+. But one sheet of like a 22-inch by 30-inch paper is around $10-15. So yeah, it depends on the brand, and try out different brands as well. Okay, so wait, let me see what I'm missing. I don't draw with your fingers, draw with your shoulder thing, right? I don't draw. I don't know what you're asking. The way I draw with my fingers like this. If that's what you're asking. You say you saw your drawing on TikTok. Oh, yeah. Now these eyebrows, the proportion is correct, but this eyebrow right here looks a lot different from this one because of the height. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this eyebrow a little bit taller so it can look, more cohesive with this one. Cause I just think it looks kind of weird right now. So I'm just gonna make this one a little bit taller. And then I'm gonna really take my time with this because I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna darken this eyebrow right here. Art block is super annoying. Oh, I don't even know why we have art blocks, but it's super annoying. You said without grit, you're cooked. I get that. I get that. Trust me. Okay, how do you take measurements? Great question. So it depends on how many drawings I have to do, like depending on the amount of commissions I have to complete. So for most of the part, I do freehand my work, but if I have a deadline and I have to finish something, I will trace. I do not recommend any artist tracing unless you perfect your freehand. So I felt like I have before because a lot of my portraits are proportionally super accurate when I did freehand. So I've been doing that for a very long time. So that's how I go about either freehanding or using the grid, not the grid method, freehanding or tracing my work. Loomis method, I've tried the Loomis method many times. I just do not like the Loomis method for some reason. That doesn't mean it's not for you. Just for me, I just can't get with the Loomis method. Let me move this a little. There we go. All right, so at this point, since I feel like I've done enough on this side as of right now, I'm gonna move on more towards the middle area and make sure all the values are a little bit cohesive with this side of the portrait. Lewis method feels restricted for me in some way. Like it's hard to get fluid lines with it. I agree 100%. That's how I feel about the Loomis method. Open Bruto. So, freehanding is so tough though. Every time when I try freehand my drawings, all I get is abominations. I understand from both sides. Like when I first started freehanding, I just didn't know how people did it. But the more I learned, the easier it became. Loomis method, I'm sure I can get used to it. It's just that I don't think I want to get used to it. What feature do you find most difficult to draw? Great question, Charlie. The feature I find most difficult to draw, I would either say lips, hands, obviously feet, or sometimes eyes. Eyes can be difficult to draw depending on the reference image and what the eye looks like. But I would say those are like the hardest things for me to draw. How do you create drawing videos like Kendrick One is crazy? Oh, thank you. How do I create drawing videos? I just film myself drawing like little clips of it, and then I put it all together. Either if I'm using TikTok, I'll put all of it on TikTok and I'll edit it that way, or you can use CapCut. You can use DaVinci Resolve, and I just cut the different scenes and add overlays and stuff like that. Have you made any mistake on this drawing? Ah, let's see. Have I made a mistake on this drawing? Hmm, not yet. No, I feel like I might make a mistake, but no, I haven't. When I first started drawing with pen, I made many mistakes, mistakes that I really couldn't fix. But now when I draw with pen, I only make mistakes that I can fix, or very small mistakes that the average person wouldn't see. So for this one, I haven't made a mistake yet. Nice chain. But yeah, for this portrait right here, this side is not completely finished. I still have a lot of layering to do because I want this portrait to have like a lot of depth and a lot of contrast. So I will be coming back to this, but now I'm gonna have to move on to this next time I go live, or finish up this area next time I go live. So don't have to film the whole process. Yes, you don't have to film your whole process when you do draw. Okay, I know many artists think that. I used to think that, but you do not. Draw little clips. I mean, film little clips of you drawing, and then put those together. Unless you're going to create a video on the full process of whatever drawing you're doing, yes, record the whole thing. But if you're just showing a fast process of it, or you just want to take certain clips, record for like 2 seconds, record for 16 seconds, a minute, and do that over and over and over again. Yeah, so for this drawing, the light source is coming from the top left. You have that, you see, you know what you're talking about. You know exactly what you're talking about. Do you use a stump or shader in between layers? That's a great question. No, I do not blend the pen at all. I rely only on the pressure I apply to the paper. When I did first start drawing with pen, I did use a blending stub. I use Q-tips, I use cotton ball, I use any type of rag I can use. But the way I draw now, I feel like I don't really need it. So I don't blend the pen. But you can blend the pen if you want to try it out, or if that's what the look that you like. But for me, I just like using, my hand pressure and using the transitions between the highlights and shadows to create smooth skin texture. But I appreciate everyone for watching. I've been on here for an hour, and this was my first YouTube live, which I've had a lot of fun, especially with you guys engaging. You guys are awesome, and expect me on here next week because I am going out of town tomorrow. So I appreciate everyone tuning in on YouTube. Dang, it's not letting me in this live for some reason. I guess it wants me to stay on here. Like I'm pressing the X button, but nothing is happening.